all of us, not only the God-men, we are also Krishna. In our original state of being, we are that supreme Brahman, not just Krishna, Rama, the manifestations, the unmanifest divinity, that supreme divinity. It's called Sat Chit Ananda. See, in our ordinary life, all of us want to live long. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to prolong their life as much as possible. That is Sat, because Sat is eternal living. So that expresses inside us, because by some strange twist, the same Parabrahman has put this Maya in us, the ego, the selfishness in us. And that because of that, this feeling still continues that I want to live long, I want to live eternally if possible. And then Chit, all of us want to be intelligent. No? Nobody wants to be thought dull. Now, Chit is that intelligent consciousness, the supremely intelligent, the supreme intelligence that created your body. Just see the eyes, the structure of the eyes, structure of the nose, structure of the hands, structure of your legs. Every part of your entire body is completely functional, and it is so sophisticated in its construction that you begin to wonder, can you construct an eye like this? Or a hand like this? You cannot. The synthetic constructions are not perfect. They have their own defects. But this supreme intelligence, which has created a worm, a bird, animals, and the fire, water, you just stop to wonder, what is water? Can you imagine? Just imagine that they say, mother says this is water and then continues to be water all through life. Have you ever wondered how beautiful it is? What is this water? As creation, what a wonder it is. Fire, what a wonder it is. Air. Everything in nature, right from the one-celled animal, that is insect, and right up to the Trimurtis. Everything has such sophisticated construction and sophisticated action. So we are wonderstruck when you see all this around. And remember that supreme intelligence is right inside you, that is Chit. Ananda. Everybody wants to be happy in life. Nobody wants unhappiness in life. Ananda, we are by nature supreme Ananda. The supreme Ananda is my original state of being, blissful peace. Now we have lost peace, we have lost Ananda. So we want happiness, but unfortunately we think that the happiness is outside. Because we are not turned inward, we are turned outward all the time, especially on the cell phone. You know, the cell phone has done so much havoc in the world. We are all turned outward. And everything happens in this world to strengthen the Maya. So the Google and this thing, YouTubes, they're all here to strengthen this Maya for us. Otherwise, and what happens after some time? You get tired of it and you want a new happiness. You want varieties. You want newness in everything. That is outward happiness. And then you also feel that what you thought, your very happiness depended upon an object, the same object will turn into an object of unhappiness for you. So your happiness depends upon a relationship or a person. After some time you see that the person is not the same. The person, something will happen and there will be an ego clash, and then there will be so many things. The relations also break. All that is because your eyes are turned outward. So once you turn inside, can anyone be more handsome than Krishna? Can anyone be more beautiful than Radha? It is that you are not turned inward, so you think that your joy, your happiness lies outside, and then after some time when you lose it, you understand that. So you have to find your joy which is independent of objects or people outside. And that joy is Ananda, it is blissful peace. So Sat Chit Ananda is our true nature. Because of this ego, the Maya, the selfishness, that God Himself has put there. we have begun to identify ourselves with the body, saying, now let's come back to the original question. I call this body mine, my body. Whereas in truth, this body belongs to whom?
Bhagwan.
Bhagwan. And we call this breath, Are you breathing?
Yeah.
Yes. But are you consciously breathing that I must breathe, and then the in-breath and out-breath and in-breath and out-breath? No. So who is sustaining your breath?
Bhagwan.
Bhagwan. So we all, our body, our mind, our intellect, the whole unit belongs to the divinity within this. And so it is very, very important that we remember God. As Bhagwan, he made such strong statements, which of course maybe other Mahatmas have already made. But for me it was very new. He said, it's only when you remember God you truly live. The times you forget God, you are dead. You are carrying your own dead body. The body may still be breathing, but you are carrying your dead body because the body is not serving the purpose of life. And what is the purpose of life? Remembering God. So the times you forget God, you are not living in God, you are carrying your own dead body. It is dead to the remembrance of God. And he also said, of course, when the prana is gone, 4 people will carry you. But while living, while still breathing, we carry our own dead body the times we forget God. He also said and made another statement, remembering God is dharma, forgetting God is adharma. So how much adharma we do? 24 hours every day. How many minutes you remember God? You tell me. When you do help, when you do something to others, don't you expect something in return? The minimum is you want them to recognize that you have helped. No? And suppose they, by probably they are lost in some thought or something, they don't recognize. Yesterday I gave so much money to them, I did so much, and see, it's all disrespect. They don't care. They have no gratitude, all that. So God has created your body, has put life in it. How much He will expect? And what will He expect? At least to remember Him. A few minutes a day will not do. You have to remember Him all through the day, 24 hours possible. Then we can't remember. Okay, at least as soon as we get up in the morning, chant the mantra prescribed by the Guru. A few times, at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes or at least 2 minutes. Make the children also do. You see to it that the children also remember the mantra and then pray to Krishna or the Guru, please be with me all through the day. Even if I forget you, please don't forget me, be with me, help me, guide me, protect me. And make this prayer. And you get up with that prayer and chanting the name. And start the day. Even if you forget, get absorbed in the work or the daily living, it doesn't matter. When you go to bed, before going to bed, you tell the God or the Guru, whoever you worship, all I thought through the day. My thoughts, if the very breath is sustained by God, and because of the sustenance of the breath, I get thoughts, words and action. So your thoughts also belong to Him. Your words that you speak belong to Him. Your actions belong to Him. So you say, whatever I thought all through the day, whatever I spoke, be it bad, good or bad, and whatever actions I did, I'm offering all them at your feet because you are the real doer. By force of habit, I think that I thought and I spoke and I did. But I know that you are the origin of all. You are the source of my thoughts, words and actions. So I am giving it back to you. What is yours, I'm offering to you. And I'm offering myself to you. And thank Him nicely and go to bed. These two things, if you do continuously, even for a month, what happens during the day, when you do something, suddenly you would remember, oh, he is doing it through me. When you speak something very harsh to somebody, oh, he is speaking through me and I should not speak, because he is in everybody. Says Kabir, I think, Gatu Gatu Ramaya Ram, Gatu Gatu Ram ka Ram hi Ramaya, Katina Vachana mat bol. Each one is a gatam, a pot, inside which the lamp of Rama is glowing. And do not speak harshly, because your harsh words are going straight to Rama within. Katina vachana mat bol. Rang mahal mein deep barast hai. Achana se, asana se mat dol. That is, the world is a very beautiful palace, colorfully decorated and very inviting and tempting, but you don't move from your asana. Asana se mat, don't fall from your asana. So these are Kabir, but it doesn't matter whatever it is, let us continue to live the way we have always been living, because to change is very difficult unless the change happens by divine will, by some past meritorious deeds. So the thing is, at least this you can do. The thing is, you are all the elders are rooted in the culture already. But you see to it that the younger generation get involved. You know, you must allow them to participate even in the run of the family, the run of your house. They must know how much money, how hard the father earns, how hard the father works in the office to earn money to spend for their, if not for education, for something, anything that you want. You know, when you go to college, he was saying how expensive it is. For your very food. And mother, how she works hard. They must know that father and mother are working very hard for the sake of the children, and then there are needs which they are not able to meet, and they should know all the difficulties involved, so that they will feel responsible when they grow up, and they would also think that, okay, they have worked so hard, they have raised me to this level, and I must see that they be happy, instead of dumping them in some, what do they call it? Old age home, sending money and being happy with that. Because the father and mother in their old age, they need love. They long for your love. Your money cannot give them that. Your attention. At least you are talking to them over phone, saying, how are you? Are you all right? You know, and you will receive their blessing. Bhagwan always said, the blessings from one's parents are very important for the happiness of our life. He always said, if you don't receive blessings from your parents, the work you have taken up in hand will not succeed. That's how important the parents are, because when you were a child and you were lying down and your very motion or your dirt, with great love the mother does that. And then she puts on a new dress, decorates you, feeds you, and father earns, father also participates in all that. And when they reach their second childhood, if you happen to be indifferent to them, what a sin it is. How do you expect to succeed in all your endeavors? So this is something that I'm not, anything that I'm saying is what I got from my master, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Nothing I can claim as my own, because I'm totally ignorant. It is all crumbs from the master's table that I'm sharing with you. I'm not even doing propaganda or anything. I am here only to share some of those gems from Yogi Ramsuratkumar with people, because they are very simple, at the same time profound. And they have to be practiced in our daily life, especially by people who live in a foreign land. The culture there is so different from ours. So now, another Leela, that is, I had seen Bhagwan as Shri Rama myself. One day early morning, about 3 o'clock, I got up, and then the first thing Bhagwan always there would be a calendar right in front of him, and I had to tear the previous day. And then I saw, that day, even when I got up, there was this Rama consciousness inside. And Hanumanji, Rama and Hanumanji. And then I tore it and then I saw it was Ramanavami. And then I turned to Bhagwan. Bhagwan was just lying down, completely asleep, you know. But then there was a green glow about him, some radiance. It was green. And that is when I saw him as a green-skinned being. Then I remembered Rama. You've seen இல்லையா பிக்சர்ஸில் ராமருக்கு வந்து க்ரீன் கலர் தானே இருக்கும். அவருடைய தோலே க்ரீனாக இருந்ததுன்னா எவ்வளோ ஸ்ட்ரேஞ்சாக இருக்கும், ஏதோ இன்னொரு உலகத்துலேருந்து வந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் இல்லையா. இட் இஸ் நாட் த ஸ்கின் கலர், இட் இஸ் த ரேடியேஷன், the level of consciousness, the divinity in them radiated that green color, so they looked green. Krishna radiated the blue light, so he was the blue boy of Vrindavan. That blue is the highest divinity. So that day I understood that Bhagwan was Shri Rama himself, and then he looked green because of the radiation came. And then there are other times when he manifested as Shri Rama. And I don't know if there is any time at all to say all these things, but let me, though it's one incident. There was one, what's her name? Kamala. When Kamala used to come from Bangalore to Bhagwan, Bhagwan used to call her Yogi Kamala. And she was coming from Varanasi, so in Varanasi, she was ransacking the whole Varanasi to get a shawl to give to Bhagwan. But and she wanted Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram mantra there. But in Varanasi, how will you get a shawl? It's all Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Finally, after several hours of searching, she had to settle for a shawl with Om Namah Shivaya. So when she turned up there at that small veranda of Yogi Ramsuratkumar Sannadhi Street house with her friends, everybody was giving some gift or the other at the feet of Bhagwan they were keeping. And then she was very hesitant to give. He said, Kamala, have you brought anything for this beggar? And then very reluctantly she took out this and said, Swami, this is what I want. Immediately Bhagwan just took it in hand and then he shook it once. And then he put it on himself, and where there was Om Namah Shivaya, now to her great shock and delight and wonder, she saw Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. This is God. Remember I said God is like a mirror? Whatever you want, when you are so devoted to God, whatever is inside you will reflect. So that was his way of showing that I am Om Namah Shivaya, I am also Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Anyway, I want to satisfy you, so it manifested, that's another thing. And that's when, you know, in Mahabharata the story comes that Draupadi, after the Akshaya Patra was exhausted, and Durvasa will turn up with 10,000 disciples and demand food, and then he would say, go, I will go have my bath and come, get it ready. And Draupadi didn't know because she had already eaten, and there was only a single grain left, and she didn't know that. And then of course, Krishna, what will I do, what will I do? And Durvasa is famous for cursing. And Krishna appeared promptly. And you know what he was asking? Draupadi, I'm feeling so hungry, please give me some food. He was asking the same thing that just as Durvasa did. Now she knew, Krishna, what play is this? You know very well already that it's called exhausted. What will I do? No, Draupadi, go look in. And then he took one grain and put it into his mouth, and those 10,000 plus one, they felt fulfillment, complete, as though they had a feast. And they refused to come to Draupadi's place because they could not take anything anymore. Now, one day, two brothers, one is Vishwanathan, the other one is Raman, they are from the Tirukovilur. Jnanananda Swami's devotees, those many families. And they had come, they were only boys like them. Krishnakant. Your name?
Keshav.
Keshav and Krishnakant were there at the time as Vishwanath and Raman. And then they thought, they would come because the parents said, go have darshan and go. So they had to come and they sat before Bhagwan. And then after half an hour, they started to wriggle because they wanted to leave. They were also feeling hungry. But Swami would not leave them. Swami said, stay here and chant Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Naam, something. So he kept them busy. So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And they were feeling so hungry, they could eat. Yogi Ramsuratkumar himself left to themselves. But Bhagwan was not letting them go. So they didn't know what to do. They were also scared to come out with that. At the same time, on the street, there was an idli vendor, rolling his cart. And he came, he was passing, immediately in one jump Bhagwan got up, he went and reached for the gate, and then he opened and he said, stop. And the cart fellow was very, very happy because he knew that whatever Swami did was a great blessing for him, it would make his day. So he stopped and said, Swami, please come. I have hot idlis and hot sambar. So Swami immediately went there and took the aluminum plate, and then he put some 3 hot idlis there and poured hot sambar. And these fellows, Krishnakant and Keshav, were inside, and they were waiting. They thought, oh, Swami is getting idlis for us. So Swami knows that we are hungry. And then they got up and they came out and they stood. And Swami just looked at them mischievously, smiled and said, Raman is hungry, but this beggar is eating. And then he took one piece and put it into his own mouth. And then he took the second piece and said again, Vishwanathan is hungry, but this beggar is eating. And then he put that. And playing this Leela again and again, he finished a whole 3 idlis. Not one single piece went to them. You can imagine what Keshav and Krishnakant felt. What would you have felt? You're feeling so hungry and somebody is eating everything and not giving you even a single piece.
Sad.
He says hungry, he would also feel bad. And so these fellows were feeling very bad, and to them it was a horror that Swami should do so. Parents only drove them to go and see them. And this is what is happening finally. Swami is not able to give him one single piece of idli. And then Swami, the Leela continued. Swami said, Rama, you have some money in your pocket. You please pay. The cartwala said, no, Swami, you have taken, it's a great fortune for me. I will not take money from you. Please don't give me. No, wait. And then said, Rama, please give some money. Rama, for the idli that he had never eaten, he had to take money and part with it, and then so reluctantly and so full of resentment, he gave that money to Bhagwan. And that moment, when the money landed in his hand, the brothers, they felt completely full, as though they had eaten all the 3 idlis themselves. They felt full. And then they understood something, that it was not Swami who was eating it. Some karma was getting over. And then, of course, they were not in that age at that time, but when they went home and narrated the whole thing, the elders said, Swami had done something great for you. But they were very happy because they felt full. They did not want to eat anymore. When you are, even if they give you jangri, when you are full, you say, no, ma, enough today. Just keep it safe, I'll take it afterwards. Right? So that's what happened. So even today, just as Bhagwan said, even today the Krishna Leelas are happening. Krishna in some form or the other, especially in the form of the great, great God-men. We call them not God, but God-men, because they are in a human form. So they are accessible to us, and we can interact with them, and we enjoy their leelas also. In fact, when the corona happened, I started for the first time to speak about the Leelas of Yogi Ramsuratkumar under the title, One Leela a Day Keeps the Maya Away. They say, the doctor says one apple a day keeps the doctor away. But the doctor of doctors, so his Leela, one Leela a day will keep the Maya away. So you have to remember the Krishna Leelas. So that keeps the Maya away.